Oh, it is very difficult to come back from none of those things. If you've never been without an ID, if you've never actually had to start over from square one, like you've lost your social security card, your birth certificate, and your ID, you don't realize what a bind you're in. Like, people like talk about voter ID laws, and I'm like, oh, it is very difficult to come back from none of those things, because I came back from none of those things. I had to learn my mother's maiden name first, okay? So that was the first obstacle, because I didn't know my mom's maiden name, but then I figured it out, okay? After I learned my mom's maiden name, I had to go to the school, go to my high school, and I'm like fucking 27 years old. Had to go to the high school and be like, I need a transcript. And they're like, what? Like, I need a transcript from the school. Now think about it, if it wasn't Grosbeck and everybody in that school didn't know who I was. Because if you go ask for a transcript, what do you think the next thing they're going to ask you for?
Need ID.
And I'm like, I ain't got one. That's why I need a transcript.
Try to get that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get an ID. I need Corey Thompson's transcript. So you get a transcript from the high school. It's one of the many things on there that they will take at the driver's license place. Okay, so you get your mother's maiden name and a transcript. You go into the driver's license place and you're like, hey, I got my mother's name and a transcript. You know, can I get an ID card or whatever? And they're like, yeah, sure, here's an ID card. And they ask you a couple more questions off your ID. Now that you got that, you can, and I think you got to have a bill in your name too.
Yeah, like a utility bill.
Like a utility bill.
Did you have to have a social to do that?
No, I was socialist, and I couldn't get a
Do you
social
have
security
your social
card
now?
No, I do now. But I was socialist then, and the only way to get a social security card.
You're a socialist?
No.
Social
Less. So, anyways, the only way to get a social security card is with an ID and your mother's maiden name. So the first step is to get the ID. And once you get the ID, then you go get the social security card. And once you get the social security card, you can go get the birth certificate at any point in time after that, because guess what you got to have to get a birth certificate?
ID and social?
Yes.
Dang.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I never thought of that, because the parents apply for the social for their kids. Like, did your mom just not do it, or did you lose all your docs?
No, I lost all my docs. I never had them. Probably more accurate. Like, nobody ever handed them to me and said, "This is what you
Don't lose
need."
these.
Yeah, don't lose these.
Speaking
It's
of,
just like you're drifting through life, and all of a sudden you know, it's like, oh, I need something. Like, how do you get it? I don't know. Go ask.
Never had that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what are you talking about? Social security card? No, I memorized my
What is
number.
that?
Like, I've never seen it though. I've never had the actual physical thing in my hand. They're like,
Never asked for that.
yeah. They're like, how'd you get a job? I'm like, put it down. How'd you get a bank account? Wrote it down. Like, they never asked for it. So, yeah, I floated through life quite well for a long time, and then had to go through that shitty process, but got it all now.